Hey guys, how you doing today? MetaMorpheus. It is Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. We're about almost 2 o'clock Mountain Time here. Hope everybody had a fantastic transition of the year. Nobody got hurt, stayed out of jail, made all the right decisions, made some good New Year's resolutions. I gotta walk some more. My dog told me that. He said I'm getting chubby. I think him and I can both use the exercise. I got a lot of things that I plan on doing with this channel. Some of them are book reviews that are still up and coming. It's been kind of a busy holiday season, so quite frankly, I haven't got around to much reading these days. So the book reviews they're not on hold, they're just a little further down the road than I had intended. I have a couple movie reviews I want to do as well, on Blade Runner and Ghost in the Shell, a few other things that have to do with artificial intelligence and how we are going to interact with that technology here before long. How we're doing it already today, but that's not really what's on my mind right now. The turn of the new year, we're coming up on Chase 6. There's just been so many incidents already, in the United States that I know of, with what happened in Nevada, what happened in Louisiana, evidently some things going on in Baltimore, some things going on at the White House. Let's hope at least some of them prove fruitless, but it's just showing that there's an awful lot of activity going on out there right now that might be of you know uh, ill intent for us as citizens of this particular greatest nation on the planet, America. And so I was just hoping I could bring some awareness of that. Um, it's like keeping your head on a swivel, watching your six, right? Always paying attention. If you I had to go to Walmart this morning, but by default, I'm watching everything and everyone now. Everyone in this country is suspect right now until proven otherwise. We are being attacked on our home front. So, it's time to think about some prep work and stuff that you've been putting off because it's been holidays and or whatever reason you got, man. Hey, I'm one of the biggest procrastinators on the planet myself, as I'm sure there's some folks out there that could probably tell you that, yeah, there are times I fall victim to that. But now is not the time. Right now, in my opinion, and all things you hear on here are my opinion. They're not known facts, or this is just my opinion, my take on the situation. But I would really suggest everybody start figuring out their plan of what they're going to do. Say something simple happens, like a malfunction of our electrical grid. We've got a heck of a storm coming up. Not quite sure how it's going to affect Colorado out here. However, I'll tell you what, I really do not wish to be on a grid down situation as close to Cheyenne Mountain as I am. There's 16 penitentiaries out here. You know what happens when all the doors unlock at the same time? An awful lot of people on the street that probably aren't supposed to be on the street, you know? What are you going to do if perchance, say, there's a strain on the power grid, it goes out, and what's your plan? I can tell you because I've experienced some of this before in my past, and in my hometown of Yakima, just 18 hours without power due to a car wreck over on the freeway. And people were already getting ripped off in my neighborhood. That being said, that neighborhood's controlled by Jalisco cartel. Yakima County authorities won't tell you that, but that's very much the case in my hometown, and being a sanctuary city and all of that liberal stuff. Uh, what's your plan? Where are you going to go? Are you going to hunker down in town? If you're going to hunker down in town, what have you done to fortify your home? What have you done to make your home your fortress? I don't live in my own home right now. I'm in a shared living situation and it's working out fine. But this isn't my fortress. It's not my home. What are you doing to fortify your home from your neighbors? Have you vetted your neighbors? Have you met them? Have you introduced themselves? Or are you staying quiet? You being gray man? What are you doing? Have you followed the guy with the loud truck to see where he lives, to see if you can get some base psychological profile on him, to know whether you may be able to count on him or not count on him here potentially very soon? Awful lot of things going on that are a little strange in this country. We got drones the size of Suburbans flying over places. Those are not private drones. There's something to that. There's something going on. We've got interesting fogs going on in what appear to be NATO nations all over the world. And by some sources say could be a smart fog, nanotechnology, like the same thing that went into, all the folks that chose to do that. All of those people that didn't get the placebo, they got nanobots. Their mRNA has been altered. They are like a post-human now. Okay. I can go on tangents. I'm kind of known for it. What I was talking about is what have you done to fortify your home? If you're going to bug in, just preparing for 3 or 4 days, a week, 10 days, 15 days. You got enough food and water to last 2 weeks? Everybody knows you got to get toilet paper, right? Have you done all that? Have you thought about what you might do if, say, you're at the grocery store and a potential electromagnetic pulse shuts down your vehicle, especially if you're driving an electric vehicle? I hate to break it to you, but that car is now toast in an EMP. So maybe you're 25 miles from home. How are you going to get that 25 miles back to your home without your vehicle? Minding that you're going to be around a lot of panicked folks. There's things you need to think about carrying with you. Do you have a go bag in your car? Does it have some protein bars? Does it have a tarp? Does it have some paracord? Do you have an extra big lighter? And yeah, throw some books and matches in there too. Trust me, you're going to use all these things. Get yourself a P38. If you don't know what a P38 is, ask a vet. You're going to use it. Don't get yourself that dollar store can opener, man. I mean, if you got one, great, use it, but it's going to break the first few tries. You're going to be opening that can with a pocket knife. Make sure you have one of them. Make sure you have a larger knife that you're comfortable with, that's of good quality, holds a good edge. You just never know. Maybe you only have a certain supply of ammunition. Maybe you don't have access to your other, your other. But everybody needs one of these. Everybody needs one of these. You know. On that note, a little more challenging when you live in the inner cities. It's a little more prevalent in rural America. Some things never left my truck. But everybody needs to think about having one of these. All right, they could be helpful. They really can. At the very least, as a deterrent or for dinner. Um, these are just some of the things that I would encourage you to think about. You know, how many gallons of water a day does it take for your family per person? How many people are in your household? How many pets do you have? If you're bugging in, are there other people going to be with you? Have you taken those folks' needs into account as well? Have you figured out how you're going to divide labor? Who's responsible for what? Have you rounded up any firewood? You're going to need it. Little side note that was made just yesterday. I was talking to my wife, and she said, "You realize that if the power goes out here, there's no fireplace, there's no wood stove, there's no pellet stove, which requires electricity to operate there. However, you can get around that. Got a barbecuer in the backyard? I'm gonna tell you what, your little 1 pound bottles of Coleman fuel, a little propane, you're paying $9 a piece for them right now, $10 a piece. Those aren't gonna last very long. If that's what you're doing, if you got a little Coleman stove, so you can prepare things on, that's great. You've thought ahead. Do you have the fitting that attaches to your barbecue tank? Well, you can refill your own. Save yourself a little bit of money. Get 80 bottles for the price of 20. Little helpful hints, things that help us along the way on our off-grid journey. Now, these are the things if you're plugging in. Have you thought about what your plan of attack is if you need to leave? I guarantee you 10 days into an EMT with no power, Pueblo, Colorado is going to be no place to be. Nor is Springs, nor is Denver, nor is Portland, Oregon, nor is Vancouver, Longview, Castle Rock, Seattle. Go ahead, pick a city. Pick a city anywhere. Fact is it's a city. Just a little while into a power outage, people will be desperate. Guaranteed. I would stake my very life on it. So that means you're going to have to get away from that city. Is vehicle maintenance up to par? I discussed this the other day. These are still two things that are waiting for my payday so I can get oil changes done on my trucks. Make sure they got good tires. Make sure the exhaust is tightened up. Change the tranny fluid. All those things. Is it up to par? Make sure your radiator hoses aren't cracked. Make sure your belts are in good condition. If you need a tune-up, do one. The time is now. You may have to abandon where you're at. Now, that's the case. Where are you going to go? Have you got together with your group of like-minded people, or do you have a group of like-minded people? Other folks do. If you're headed for the mountains, I'm going to suggest I hope you already have a group of like-minded people that you associate with that you're going to meet in the mountains. Because what you're probably not going to do as just a civilian lone wolf, somebody bumbling along, just doing things at the last minute, you're probably not going to be driving too far up any mountain roads. They will already be secured by the people that thought ahead. You think so, Dobby? Are you helping me? My security. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. All right. Yeah. You got to sit down. Look at that. Go over there. Say hi. That's Dobby, the house elf. Okay. Go ahead. Lay down. Lay down, bud. Lay down. Lay down. Come on. You got to lay down. Thank you. You're a good boy. Now that you're a star and everybody loves you. I don't want to be all doom and gloom. It's a new year. There's great things in store for this year. However, I pay attention to what's going on all the different fronts that we're involved in, man. I would project that China's going to make a move on Taiwan this year. It's probably the best time for them to do that strategically. I don't want them to, obviously, but I suspect they will. If they're smart in the art of war, they will. That's what they're going to do. That's drastically going to impact your life, all of our lives, my life, your life, Dobby's life, Layla's life. It's going to impact all of us. A lot of you do not realize the impact that will have on our supply chain. You don't realize how much we lean on China for our Americanized standard of living. That's only one of many things that are being paid attention to right now. It's very obvious that sleeper cells are being woke up around the country. most of them are going to be around sanctuary cities. I would say as well, because there's getting ready to be kind of a big old crap storm involving that. Just saying, things to think about. You know, think of our families, their needs, spend as much time with them as we can. Do our chores is one of my prepper channel says. Do our chores, and then go out and have fun. Enjoy this style of living while we got it. We're going to do well in the end. However, I believe this is going to be one bumpy 2025. If y'all remember 2020, there's just a lot of things underfoot or afoot. As Americans, we're supposed to figure out how to get them underfoot, right? How many of you are aware that Microsoft wants to reopen 3 Mile Island so that they could get the enormous magnitude of energy they need for their artificial intelligence programs? They're working with NVIDIA and OpenAI, different large software manufacturers and hardware manufacturers to build what? Artificially intelligent robots? Why do they need several million of them by year's end? I don't know. I don't know. Things that I think about. MetaMorpheus sits here and conjectures on all this stuff all day long. I really don't have anything better to do. A little later this afternoon, go out and give my truck a once over and see all the high spots that I need to hit to make sure it's ready for a long trip if need be. See, because I've already secured my passage through the territory where I'm bugging out to if I need to. You guys need to think about the same thing. It's going to become a very, very, very different world. Very, very fast. And for all of those people out there that I haven't seen in quite some time, you know what I'm talking about. I just want y'all up there to know. Love you. Miss you. Thinking about you every day while I'm on this journey down here in the south central part of the United States. I hope when we do meet again, it's under awesome circumstances, man. I really do. Everybody out there that took the time to watch Metamorpheus today, thank you. I'm not going to be that guy that sits here and says hit like and subscribe and all that crap. I just feel like talking to people, you know, getting out a little bit of a message. My next one shouldn't be so doom and gloom. I'm working on a couple scripts that me and this AI program have been trying to work out to figure out how to see where the meeting of the mind is between artificial intelligence and people. That is coming up, but there has been so much in the news that I couldn't not get on here and probe you guys' minds a little bit. At the very least, if I get one of you to think about how to get your family out of Dodge when there's an emergency, then I have done what I needed to do today, man. So God bless all of you. I really hope that your new year is starting off fantastic. And yeah, just love one another. Thank you. MetaMorpheus.